now going to make a Jenigami Snowflake. For this you need to cut out all 6 parts. They're actually identical apart from the part that has a little loop on the top to hang it. However, what I suggest you do is you take 3 parts and you line them up with 2 slots at the bottom and a single slot at the top, and take the other 2 parts and line them up so that you have a single slot at the bottom, the same as the part with a hole, and 2 slots at the top. Now, you don't have to cut all the holes out of the snowflakes if you don't want. You can actually just use it and decorate with glitter or whatever you wish. We're going to start by taking, this is our centre section, the part with the loop at the top. And what we want to take is one of the sections with the slots going in the opposite direction. So the slot at the middle on the top here and the slot at the middle at the bottom here, we're just going to slot together. And this will give us the very centre of our snowflake. We're then going to take the other 2 parts with a single slot at the top and a double slot at the bottom, and we're going to slot the slot at the top here upwards into the slots either side here. This is the part that hasn't got the loop on. Oops. We'll slot them upwards and then the same at the other side. The only thing that makes this one difficult is all the pointy edges tend to get stuck together. But now we have 3 snowflakes going front to back and 1 snowflake going across the way. We're then going to take one of the parts with a hole at the bottom and 2 holes at the top. The hole at the bottom here is going to go over this part with a loop. It has a hole left remaining here at the edge, and this needs to go over this. What will then happen is the 2 edges of this one will squish up against these 2 edges. But if you notice, this has 2 slots at the top and they both have a slot each at the bottom. We actually need to bend the card to slot them together. So we'll start with take this part and we slot it over the middle section of the one with the loop here. And then, as I said, you have a slot at the top here and a slot at the bottom here, and we need to actually bend the card to slot them together. Don't be frightened about bending the card, it is only card that is able to be bent. Right? And then we do exactly the same at the other side. As I say, the only tricky part is all the points get stuck together. Right? To make sure that everything's in, just fold your snowflake flat in both directions, and that makes sure everything's in place. That's that side in now. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. We take the bottom centre slot here and slot it into the spare slot at the top here on the section with the loop. You then have your 2 slots either side here that need to overlap with the sections either side of them. Just bend the card over, and the same at the other side. Just bend the card ends over each other and fold it flat to make sure that they all fit together, and there you have the completed snowflake. What we've then made to go with this is just a simple aperture card with a hole at the top. This particular design was done by Diane Marsh, and we just hang the snowflake from the wee slot at the top there, which gives you a really pretty card, but it folds perfectly flat for putting inside an envelope and posting to somebody.